Hey everyone, so today I want to talk to you guys about how I signed my latest client, which was a $5,400 deal, $1,800 a month. And I kind of want to take you guys from the very beginning to how I closed the actual, how I signed the deal in the actual meeting, right? So to take it from the beginning, I haven't written down any points or anything. I'm just going to go off the top of my head and kind of recall exactly how the whole thing played out, right? But remember getting the boss's number, like straight up the boss of the CEO of the company. I got his number, I don't know exactly how, maybe through LinkedIn or something like that. And I just called him and he was on a business trip in China. And it said on his voicemail that he was on a business trip in China and that he would be back in like 10-12 days. But that he wanted me to leave, that he wanted anyone that called to leave a voice message. So that's what I did. I left a voice message telling him who I was, telling him about my company, which is Stage Digital, and kind of just telling him that we do digital marketing for companies like his. And then I waited, I went on with other potential clients and did client work for my current clients and also did some YouTube videos. And then eventually he called back, right, probably after like 2 weeks. He called back, said he heard my voicemail and that he was really interested to hear what I had to say. So we had, a rather short conversation on the phone, but I just told him a little bit more in depth what I do, how I could provide his company value, how I can make him sell more products with Facebook and Instagram ads, and yeah, just basically what I could do for him. And immediately he was very interested. So we set up a meeting, we scheduled a meeting, I don't remember actually, maybe a week in advance, a week after the actual call, we scheduled the meeting for. And yeah, that was smooth, he called back and we set up a meeting immediately. So here I am, a week later on my way to the meeting. And at this point, when I'm going to a meeting with a new potential client, I always create like a presentation. And this presentation just illustrates what we stand for, like my company, and kind of what we see as great values in our services and how we can provide them value. And I also like kind of compare how digital marketing compares to traditional marketing and why you can get so much more value for your budget when you spend it on digital marketing instead of traditional marketing. This company, bear in mind, this company was already investing quite a lot in traditional marketing, and that's why when I compared the benefits of doing digital marketing instead of traditional marketing, they would get a lot more value for their buck, right? So I get into the meeting, and this was actually a really long meeting. It was like an hour and a half or something. And I go through the presentation, right? And as I said in this presentation, I'm like telling him about all the stuff we do and how we can provide him value. And when you're in the meeting, there's just one thing that is really important, which is kind of the essential component when you want to close a client, and it's making them feel like they can't go on another business day without you. Like, they actually need you. You're an essential component in the continued growth of their business. Like, you just need to make them feel like you're so important, your services are so important to you that they don't even have a choice. There's nothing for them to consider. They don't have to think about it for a week if they actually want to hire you. You just have to let them know that it's a big mistake that they haven't gone into this like a year before, and that they're lucky to have you now, and that they literally have no choice. They just have to hire you. Of course, that's not what you're gonna say to their face, but that's the way you need to make them feel. And one of the ways I made them feel this way was actually going in depth with explaining what the Facebook Pixel can do, right? So I told them, like, when I install the Facebook Pixel on your website, bear in mind these guys didn't even have a Facebook Pixel installed on the webshop. So I told them, when I install a Facebook Pixel on your webshop, we're going to be able to track exactly how many people visit your webshop, exactly how many people add to basket, how many people purchase, where they're from, all of the demographics, what's the average age of their customers, what's the gender of which gender purchases most products, where are they located, and so on and so on. So I just provided them and told them about all of these statistics and all of this data that we could collect, and how we could use this data to then target the ads even more specifically. I told them, so when the Pixel has gathered enough data, we'll be able to create lookalike audiences that will go out and really specifically target people who could be really interested in products, right? So I just went in depth with explaining this to these guys, like why Facebook advertising, why advertising, digital marketing is so important, and why they can't go on another day without actually getting into digital marketing. Just letting them know that it's essential and it's what all the big businesses are doing. And you know, at this point I could already feel it, you know, maybe not halfway, 2/3 through the meeting, I could feel I had them hooked, and I wasn't even, you know, doubting for a second that the deal would actually be closed, right? So for the last third of the meeting, we're basically just discussing details, but I already knew that they had hired me, and then, you know, in the last 10 minutes we agreed that, you know, they were on board and for me to send them an invoice as soon as possible. So like, it's actually closing the client isn't that difficult. I know that might sound cocky or something, but really the difficult part comes when you have to deliver good work to your clients, and when you have to manage multiple clients and all of the economics and stuff like that. But closing the client, guys, get on the phone, okay? Either call their assistant, or if you actually have the boss's direct number like I did, call him or her, and you know, present your services quickly, set up a meeting, go to the meeting, have a professional looking presentation, and tell these guys why they have to hire you. Let these guys know that they can't go on another day without you. That literally you're essential to them. Just make them feel that way, because you know, you could also talk to them about what their competitors are doing, because actually I did that too in the presentation. Now that I think of it, I showed them another company that, you know, another company that is in the same niche as them, right? So they make kind of the same products, not the same designs, but their products have the same functions as theirs. And I showed them these guys are already doing ads, right? They're already heavily invested into digital marketing, and it was one of their close competitors. So obviously that made them feel like, well, if our close competitors are doing it already, then we should probably be doing it too, because else they're gonna leap ahead of us. So yeah, that's another great move that you could make in the actual presentation. Just make sure that you don't make it seem cocky, but that you're just trying to help them, right? So yeah, actually, yeah, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but just go out and do it, okay? Get on the phone, set up a meeting, make a professional looking presentation, make them feel like they can't go on another day without you, make them feel like they need you, and boom, that should be the deal closed right on the spot. Okay guys, so yeah, I want to keep this video short and precise for you guys, but that's basically how I closed my last client. So yeah, actually, I'm already in the middle of onboarding another client. I know it's only like a week or two since I closed that last client that I'm talking about in this video, but I'm already in the process of onboarding another client. So yeah, if that happens, I think I'll vlog today again, and I'll take you guys to their offices and show you everything again, because it seemed like you guys really enjoyed the last vlog where I vlogged my business day and took you guys to the meeting and walked you guys through it. So that's it for this video. Have a good day.